Hello everyone, this is Charlie Brawley coming back at you with another video. This video, I'm going to have you guys listen to the thoughts and opinions of the gentleman who made over $10,000 using the software when it was in its original state. He took it from $3,000 to over $10,000 his first 30 days, and since he's had the new software, he's earned about 150% in about 3 days. So, but most of the interview, you guys are going to hear him talk about his experiences, some of the things that he did to meticulously make the money. And I also wanted to say before we turn it over to him, is to think about one of the reasons I'm giving this away, for pretty much nothing. It's not that we need to sell this. I just want to make that clear. Because I'm not going to woo you guys with a bunch of videos showing you a bunch of winning and a bunch of live games, all that stuff like that. You guys are looking for the wrong thing. You guys are not looking for the knowledge or the mathematical concepts of anything. And what I'm telling you, our abilities to make 30% growth every 4 to 8 days, you can do that with your eyes closed. So, and I have a multiple ways of we always achieving that. So I'm not going to be inundating you guys with a whole bunch of watch this, watch that. But the real reason I'm doing this, guys, is because I think if we don't move now on this market, it's going to be hard to make a move on it soon. I have the opinion that things are going to start crashing, and it's going to make getting money out of this market even tougher. And the way that things are looking, they're trying to collapse the dollar, and in collapsing the dollar, we run nothing up into crypto. But if you don't want to live under this digitized world, that's where the whole mark of the beast idea comes from. You may be stuck, and I might just be one of those people who'd be stuck. However, I think if we make enough money off this money now, we'd have enough money to care not if we're stuck, if you get my drift. So we have to go in and seize this market now. So I'm giving people an opportunity to do it, and I'm literally going to take those proceeds and continue doing the team play thing that I'm doing with my current users now. Doesn't mean the software isn't good. It's just that we know something even more. But this is a great gift because the guy made $10,000 his first 30 days, and that's when we first actually did it. So anyway, we're going to give him a chance for you guys to listen to him. This name is Owen. Owen's been a part of my team for years, and he's seen a lot of the evolution. But when we first started the algorithm software, is when Owen, his first 30 days, made well over $10,000. So with that said, Owen, I'll let you take it away, brother.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I started connecting with you, it's always been something that is more than just the game or the casino. Is like understanding the game of like economics. And like you said, right now is crunch time. There's a lot of things that are going on. And, in my background, you always have to, in order to make money, sell something to someone, right? There has to be some type of exchange. So what really, drew me to this was, the authenticity, your passion to be able to explain really what's really going on, and how this vehicle can help us, right? And in a way, you don't have to really convince or tell anybody anything, right? Because it's all there, right? It's similar to trading, and something that's very new. That's why I think that you're actually really passionate, because it's not something that's conventional. It's something that really hasn't been done before on this scale. So when I first started, I guess the main thing was that I saw how 1, 2, 3 it was. I'm somebody that I think works best under a certain schedule with certain guidelines, right, and procedures, and from being able to just hit a goal, or you don't hit the goal maybe for that day because you might not have some time, but that you live to be able to trade another day, right? So that's how I kind of how I saw the process at the beginning, and just being able to handle those days where you might not be up, there might not be you're not might be in the best headspace, or there might be something with the casino, stuff like that. You want to not get into your head about it and try to recoup everything back in a single day, right? So those are things that I've learned to apply through trial and error, and going through the process, the ups and the downs and everything. But knowing that like there is a process, and that the patterns, they repeat themselves, and they're a lot more predictable, like you had taught about being in a sterile market versus being in in a market with stocks or crypto that are really you might have some type of plan, but at the end of the day, there are a lot more variables in that market than what we see in a simple card game.
Yeah, man. So when you first started, right, you made, or at least when we started using the algorithm software, you made $10,000 in a month. And one of the things about when we talk about value, this software has been further improved since then. Go back to when you made that $10,000. Was it quick? Was it painful? Was it something where you felt pressured? Or was it a seamless process even then? Give us your take on that moment, that whole thing.
Sure, man. Well, it was, we started at 3,000, right? So that was, it was a slow grind. And then there were certain things that happened where we were, I got down to like 2,600, somewhere around there. And I was like, kind of feeling the pressure of like, whoa, what should I do? We should just, continue the process, but not do it all in the same day, right? And that's where a lot of people might want to, martingale or overplay, overtrade. And so I took it day by day. Instead of continuing to increase my minimums, I just went back to my base bet, and then slowly started getting confidence and hitting smaller goals. And then, we eventually, broke even back to 3,000. And then it was pretty much taking advantage of certain things that we saw within the game, how the patterns repeat themselves, and how certain things were anomalies, meaning that they didn't happen very often, right? So we would really take advantage on those moments. And so obviously you kind of feel the pressure in some of those moments, because you only have like 12 seconds or 15 seconds to really place in the correct bet on the correct side. Although it seems kind of easy at times, but when you might be in it, or you might feel the pressure, or whatever it is, it might be able to get to you. But it got to a point where obviously we hit like around, for me, it was like around 6,000 that I'm like, okay, we already doubled the account. Really, we're basically already to the 10K mark. And once it got to like 8,000, I was like, wow, like this shit is so fucking like precise, man. And then it was just a moment that I realized like how certain days I might have to go in for a little bit longer. And when I say a little bit longer, I mean, I didn't go over 2 hours. Although, like, once I hit the goal, I would continue to trade. Like, if I had $100 goal, but for some reason I hit 120, and then I might just play with the additional $20, right? And see what would happen with that, and see if an anomaly would hit. But then, that if it goes below the $20, then you just stop, and then you continue the next day. So there were days where I would only be on there for 15 minutes and I would be happy as fuck. We would be done. I would be, that's it. I don't want to be there all day. There are people that just want to continue like, oh, well, this should be able to work, all day. But they don't realize that, there are things that you just leave. You want to be really focused because that's where the game or the casino gets you, because at the end of the day, the people will start treating it like a game. And then you start seeing how much it wins. And then, there might be certain trends where there's not just winning, so again, you want to treat it really like a business at that point, although it could be fun, right? But there are days where you might not be, at your 100%, you might not be there. So you always want a process and a plan, and just to simply follow the plan. And that if something happens where, it goes down, that it's because of the plan. It's part of the plan. But if you start, going at it, trying to take revenge at the casino, you run a risk of just making bad decisions, right? And then blowing half of your bankroll, and it's just worse. It's worse than it can get. So, but yeah, after the 8,000, I was pretty confident that we were gonna hit the 10K mark. At that point, I was like, it's pretty much game over. And I got to about 10K, 10,500 or 10,600. And we left it at that. At that point, it was about 33 days. I was recording every single day. I was recording every single session, how long it took. Some sessions took, again, like 15 minutes, and then other sessions took an hour and 45 minutes, whatever the case is, right? Because I might take breaks here and there, 5-10 minutes. And for me, you just got to find your style, right? You got to find your way. And for me, it was, being able to take short breaks was a good fit for me, So, I'm an open book. I want to talk about anything that you want to talk about, brother. But
yeah, man. So I'm gonna jump in because you've been dropping bars. There's so many things that you said that I could go back to. You were talking about the process. You talked about the mistakes being made. And what was crazy is when you made that 10, and this is when we had originally did the software, because what you're seeing now, the software that we have now, is the software that we left off on. He was able to make 150% growth in about 4 days using this software, whereas it took a month to do it before. He did this again, but he did it at 150%. He just recently did that. He did almost 150%. We did that in 3 days. So we're going to talk about real quick the differences between now, like with the software that we have now. This is the one that I'm allowing the users to get. We were able to do what we did before. All of what you said are the things that you have to do today. You have to manage your time. You have to have a goal. One thing about this software now is that you could see the percentage of earnings. So one thing that you did, even when you did 150%, you didn't even do this. But one of the things that I teach them now is that you just simply just wait for all the algorithms that are at 90% or better. And you just do that. And as long as it's at 90% or better, you ride. If it's not that, you just wait for one to hit 90% or better. We did not have that advantage when you did 10,000. We didn't have that advantage. We have it now.
Right.
How is the difference in it now? The customized one that we have now that they're getting, the one that you did 150% on, than how you made 10,000 when it originally started?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest difference is that you can kind of see. Well, you can kind of know. You know exactly which algorithm, because instead of like just having one, you're able to see the performance of of four of them. So you're always taking the highest percentage wager, right? Pretty much at all times. And the biggest thing is that it's it's not gonna be obviously 100%, but you can always see that there's like it's narrowed down, right? So there's no need to be as aggressive as we were when we did have the. That's the biggest thing that I guess I noticed, like that where we went to 10K. There were moments where we would go more aggressive on the anomaly points, but right here it went pretty much straight up, and obviously there's give and take to anything, but we did that progression in the bets, and that pretty much got us straight up to 150%, and it was within 5 days. It was like within a week. So for me, it was just like an advancement, always in advancing, always being better, and tweaking it, because I mean we can. It's again, there's certain things that happen that just they repeat themselves, and you know exactly how to be able to tweak it, right, to actually see this game and how to break it down into percentages. So I mean that was the biggest takeaway. You're not doing the same thing as before. There's always going to be a different play depending on which one of the algorithms you're looking at. So you kind of feel like you're actually trading, on the market. You're looking at this algorithm and you're like, man, we got this, right? You just gotta, obviously you have your learning curve for the first couple of days. You go in for $1, and then once you know that you got the hang of it, then you start scaling up. And as long as you follow the sheet again, and you follow the goals, depending on how much time you have in the day, you just follow those goals, right?
The bankroll management sheet is kind of what you're referring to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have your bankroll management sheet. You have the goals that you have to reach, and that's it. You try to not to diverge from that too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So it was a couple other questions I was going to ask you, dude. So why do you think this is valuable? Like, based on what you know now, the things that we're doing in team play, it's night and day. You got to be honest. It's night and day. I mean, it's not, when I say night and day, meaning the speed of which we can accomplish the goal. It's extremely quick. Now, that doesn't depart from the fact that this software doesn't produce it could produce, one of the things I tell people to do is just to get 30% every 4 to 8 days. With this software, do you think they could easily get 30% growth in four days?
Oh yeah, man, most definitely 30%. I mean, that's being on the safe side.
That's being on the safe side, exactly.
That's what you want to do. Even maybe if you want to do, 50%, whatever it is, they'll probably get that within the week. And then, what I would suggest is that they withdraw, and then they want to go ahead and break even as quick as possible, so that you're just playing with the casino's money, and that you always have a little bit of a cushion, and then you're always getting paid every week, and that you leave like a 20% or 25% in there, and you're able to withdraw the rest, so that you're always compounding, right? And then there's a plan for that as well. But yeah, they'll be able to get 30% for sure within those 3 to 5 days, 50% within, those 5 days, or, 6 days or so that same week.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a goal of compounding, a goal of withdrawing, right? And so that way, there's a saying that goes, I don't know where I heard it, but is that you're never going to go broke by taking profits.
Yeah.
So there's a time for that, and everything is laid out. It's just depending on again the time that you have, and what the bankroll obviously that you have, and what the goal is. But there is always going to be a plan to compound and then to take profits.
Yeah, man. So we're going to leave it right there. I just wanted you guys to hear from him, because the reality is that the value that I'm giving away is exponential. And I know that it's only going to go to a few people, which I only prefer to give it just to a few people. And just to be upright and honest, the proceeds from all of that is just going to go toward us building what we build. So that's really what this is all about. But I really want you guys to understand the value that you're getting. You literally can start earning 30% growth in 4 days, bro. It's crazy numbers. And this software definitely does it. And like I said, is if you understand how the algorithm works, we'll always be on the one that's producing a 90% growth forever. So when we start compounding, the only thing that you'd be doing now is just having a little more patience and not playing as much. Other than that, you're going to always get that 30% growth. And I say 4 days because I'm just being conservative. But I wanted you guys to hear from a person who actually went through the ranks, who actually did the management. He went through the money management, brought up the accounts. And like he said, the mistakes will cost you when you make them. Little things, the nuggets that I know you probably didn't really pick up, but like you said, now the software is going to compound. You just follow the plan. I'll show you guys the way to do it. It's not going to be a problem. You're going to be the owner of it, which means you don't ever have to be in a rush. You don't ever have to rush things. You could always take your time and get the 30%. Once you're at 30%, then you're going to reset, like he says, take your money. We'll figure out a way for you to what you feel comfortable with taking money. But when you're resetting, you're only going to be resetting on the house value. Okay, you're not resetting your money. We're going to be in the business of taking money and not giving it away. The bankroll management sheet, the only thing you have to do is follow it. I even show you how to, when you hit a certain point where you should just stop. It even tells you on the spreadsheet to just stop. Okay, that's half the problem, is just stopping. That's going to be your thing, because you're going to have strings of wins. And when it starts to go through a certain point, take a break. It's okay to go have a drink or whatever your drug of choice, as long as you don't use it when you're playing. I'll just leave it there. But take your time, man. You could do it. And again, I'm only putting this out to people who hear it. I'm not expecting a lot of return from this. It's not even that. Give them a little bit of synopsis of currently what this wisdom has done with what we're doing now, and the fact that I'm really genuinely only trying to give it to good people, and why they probably should really consider doing this immediately.
Yeah, I mean, for the main thing, I think, is that you guys will be able to, everybody will be able to have it in their hands. Like you say, nobody's gonna be in a rush, and then we'll always have, our community, in a sense, where we're here helping each other out and being able to give each other advice when you might go through a downtrend. So that's also valuable as well. For me, it was been great being able to really live off of this and be able to help out my father in times of need, right? So everybody is here for obviously a certain reason, and this is an open market, like you say. So if somebody, that's what I was always saying, there has to be always someone that has done it or is doing something in this game, and I'm glad I found you. I'm glad we're able to connect, and for me it's super just a blessing being able to share it with everybody right now, that there is the opportunity to do it. Just do it. It's time to really take action, and knowing that you're not alone. Again, you have somebody that has been doing it or been at this for years now. So anything and any type of feeling or any type of frustration that might come over, because of a certain thing or certain day. We've all been there, so we know how to be able to guide someone else through it, a lot easier. So the learning curve is just, it's cut down a lot more every time, every day.
Yeah, man. So if you need some help, man, he works with me right now with what we're doing with Team Play right now. So, but he's not amiss to helping anyone who says, hey, man, what did you feel? How did you experience this? The software now is a much different animal, though. I could tell you that. So you really have to just watch yourself. And that's something that you're going to have to do. But he'll be here if you ever need him to talk to him about anything. But of course, I'll definitely be here to help you with anything. And I do encourage anybody who's listening to this to go look at those videos. If that makes sense, don't worry about how the difficult things I will make sure you understand before you get started. So if there's anything that's difficult, I will go through it and make sure that you're good. You're not going to just walk into this thing. I'll make sure you know what your goals are, how much time something should take, what your bankroll should be if you don't understand it. So it's not a thing where you're going to get it and I'm just going to walk off. So even if you want to talk to Owen, I'm sure he'll make time for that. But don't think it's like he said, it's a community. So and furthermore, like, you have to communicate with me every week anyway. so it's not like I'm interested in you just leaving anyway. So you have to communicate with me. You also have to sign a non-disclosure because it's really important that we conceal the information. What I'm offering you guys is not a thing that we're trying out. Like, we've done this and I'm giving the software away. This is what I'm really doing because you get to keep it 100% of it. I don't really care. We're doing other things. If I really cared, guys, trust me, I would charge so much more for this. Trust me when I say that. I don't care. Like, we're going to do what we're going to do. But for those who get the opportunity to take advantage of this, it's a blessing for you. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds good. It really is. If you know anything about what's happening in the world, as I said before, if you understand the economics, this is the reason why this matters. It's because it's a way for you to make money now before we start to see collapses. And that's the biggest reason I'm here, is to get ourselves, but also you, in a place where you can seize a market while it still stands. And say la. That's all I have to say on that. I'm in a rush to do it. And we're doing it right now with other things. And you guys could use this and certainly make a lot of money. The only thing I'm asking for is a tip. That's the only thing I say. And you can make more than $10,000 too. Even though he made 10, that was his first 30 days. Like, you could do more than that. We're just on to something else. So once I saw him do that, this was right around the time my mom had passed too. So things had got really bad for me. But I started really thinking about how to make it better, which is what this software is. It's actually the better part of what he did. And he was able to do 3.5, almost 300% growth in about 4 or 5 days. Your goal doesn't even have to be that high. It could be like 30, 40, 50%, which is ridiculous. But we know that this produces that. That's all that there is to it. With that said, man, Owen, you got any last thoughts before I let you go, bro?
Nah, I mean, that's it as well. I mean, for me, it's a blessing. We're ready for the next stage. And then that's it. You know, we go ahead. I guess one of the best parts was actually the withdrawal part, which was the best part, the best feeling, to actually be able to withdraw and get that money in within less than 24 hours. Of course, I was using crypto at that time, but yeah, man, that feeling is the best feeling in the world, brother. So I'm ready to get back to it and you know, work shoulder by shoulder with you, brother.
Yeah, we're
really
on to see I appreciate it. Listen, guys, on the screen, I'm showing, here's another one of my users. I don't think I told you guys about him, but maybe you did if you've been keeping up. But he's a casino dealer, and he's one of my guys who've been around for years, and I mean since the permutation days. He is now making about $600 a day using not necessarily the software, but he was a student of mine, and he stayed on as a student. Now this guy's making about $600 a day. He's about to open up his own channel, and he does this without me. Okay, like he just knew he studied me so much, and I've kept up with him because he's been with me during the whole time. But I've seen his evolution of the knowledge or increase, and I'm telling you, once you understand this, the software is just an easy button. That's all it is. But this guy does these numbers every day, and this is, listen, you can see here on the screen, this is legit proof. Like he sends me this stuff. So I know this sounds crazy, all of what I'm saying, and even it is kind of like in a dream, but we're actually living that dream. It's actually here, and we're doing it right now. So listen, guys, if you want to take advantage of the software, just send me an email, permutationspro@gmail.com. Like I said, anything that you don't know, we'll make sure you know before you get started. The only thing is that I'm just going to be here until you know it. Once you know it, then you won't need me. And you don't ever have to log in. So, and the only thing that I say is that you are committed to doing this weekly. Be serious when you do it. Our objective here is to exploit the market as fast as we could, without, of course you're not going to want to overly do it, but we want to do it as much as we can before things starts to get really sketchy out here. That's really the objective. So that's kind of the reason I'm here. So hopefully you see this, hopefully this resonates. I'm going to be showing you a video of how to stay above that 90%, how to compound, how to just stay making the money. The biggest thing about playing an algorithm that's at 90% or better is just that you have to be patient. There are times where you'll be there for 20 minutes and all the algorithms are under 90%, and then you'll just have to just walk away for an hour. Stuff like that. If you're okay with that, by having it in your possession, you're going to make a lot of money. That's going to be the benefit. So I'm going to do a video talking about that. And I just wanted to show you guys, hey man, this guy Owen, he's been with me now for some time, and we're going to be doing a lot of big things together. But he was the guy who really made a big impact with the software early on, and just listening to him talk and share his experience, I appreciate it, brother. And with that said, man, permutationspro@gmail.com. Until the next time, guys, take care. All right, bro.